Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of the DuPont Professional Baseball League. Tonight, it is going to be the second game of the series between the Saitama Seibu Lions and the Orix Buffaloes from the Kyocera Dome in Osaka. And we're first of all going to give you the starting lineups right off the hop for the visitors from Kurazawa. That would be the Saitama Seibu Lions. Leading off tonight in center field is number 7, Masayuki Kuwahara. Batting second at shortstop is number 6, Sosuke Genda. Hitting in the third spot and doing the designated hitting is number 73, Anko Lin. In the cleanup spot and playing third base is number 8, Seiya Watanabe. Batting fifth and doing the catching is number 10, Taiga Kojima. Batting in the sixth spot and in left field is number 55, Yuta Nakami. Hitting seventh in right field is number 25, Alexander Canario. Batting eighth at first base is number 39, Taiga Hirasawa. And batting ninth at second base is number 38, and that is going to be Teya Sato. And they're going to be facing Anderson Espinoza, who takes to the hill with a perfect 2-0 record for the Buffaloes. He has worked 16 innings, allowed 11 hits, 1 run, and only 1 has been earned, walking 3 and striking out 11, pitching to a sparkling 0.56 earned run average. Well, that's your starting lineup for the visitors from Kurazawa. Now it's going to bring up the home team, the Orix Buffaloes. Leading off tonight and playing third base is number 6, Yuma Mune. Hitting second and in left field, or check that, center field, is number 0, Haruto Watanabe. Batting third and in left field is number 7, Ryoma Nishikawa. And the cleanup spot and playing first base is number 45, Bob Seymour. Batting fifth at second base is number 1, Ryo Ota. Batting in the sixth spot and doing the designated hitting is number 5, Masahiro Nishino. Batting in the seventh spot and doing the catching, number 4, Tomoya Mori. Hitting eighth in right field is number 38, Ryota Kita. And batting ninth, the shortstop, number 9, Tomoya Noguchi. And they're going to be facing Kona Takahashi, who takes to the hill with a 1-run record. He has worked 14 innings, allowed 7 hits, 4 runs, none of which have been earned, walking 3 and striking out 15, pitching to an ERA of a flatline 0. Our friend Samurai Pereira is in the house tonight. We welcome him from Osaka. And he has said the Koshin game was canceled due to the rain. Well, didn't look like anybody decided to go over to the Kyocera Dome to watch these two teams tonight. It is a sparse crowd between the Buffaloes and the Lions. Battle of the 4th and 5th place teams. But that is what you get. So not a big crowd tonight. Hopefully a big crowd in our stream for this one a little bit as we get going in just a couple of moments. Espinoza completing his tune-up tosses. We'll go in about 30 seconds. We'll break back after this. Welcome back, everybody. The first pitch of the ball game is a fastball at the knees to Masayuki Kuwahara, and quickly the count is 0-1. We are underway at the Kyocera Dome. It is 6:02 local time, or 18:02 if you're on the military time. As there's a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count goes to 0-2. Samurai Pereira says it's around midnight your local time. No, it's actually 2:02 a.m. in the middle of the night. So here comes the offering from the right-hander. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. Kuwahara batting 3-0-2 in the early going with a homer and 3 RBIs. He has been a definite shot in the arm for the Lions offense, coming over from the Yokohama DNA Baystars. As the right-hander Anderson delivers a fastball swung on, grounded over to third. Mune fields it on the run. He hops, skips, and side slings it over to first. It's going to retire Kuwahara on a ground out 5-3 for out number 1. It's going to bring up the shortstop and Sosuke Genda. Well, for Genda, he enters the fray tonight hitting .250. He's got no homers and 4 runs batted in. Heading from the left side here against the right-hander Espinoza. Espinoza, not exactly the most overpowering pitcher, but he does live around the zone. It's his third season with the Buffaloes. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is quickly 1-0. Genda, the 33-year-old, was the shortstop on Samurai Japan. That's with an open stance, and the pitch is a fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. I could have sworn there were more fans in the NPB preseason for games at the Kyocera Dome than this one here tonight. So 1 strike. It's, I guess, buy your own section night at the Kyocera Dome. Fastball swung on, taken on one hop. Oh, a nice play by the shortstop, Noguchi. He throws to first, and Genda's gone on a ground out, 6-3. So 2 Lions up and 2 Lions gone here in the first inning, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter in Anko Lin. Well, defensively tonight for the Buffaloes, from left to right field, it's Nishikawa in left, Watanabe in center, and the right fielder is Kita. Around the horn from first to third, Seymour is at first. At second tonight, it is Oda, the shortstop, Noguchi, the third baseman, Mune, with Espinoza and Mori, the battery, as there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Lin. Lin batting at .245, homer and 4 runs batted in. Played in the Taiwanese League last year, or the Chinese Professional Baseball League. Swings through a breaking ball, and the count now goes to 0-2. Lin, if I'm not mistaken, last year, I'd have to go double check on this. I believe he was the MVP of the Chinese League. I know a couple years ago, it was Gu Lin, the pitcher for the Fighters. Fastball swung on and lifted into foul territory. It's playable. Underneath it is the third baseman, Mune. He's there to make the catch, and that is going to be it for the Lions here in the first inning. They go quietly and in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We're through half inning. Your score, the Lions, nothing. The Buffaloes coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action right after this timeout.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Kona Takahashi taking to the hill for the Lions. In this one, he'll be facing Yuma Mune, Haruto Watanabe, and Ryoma Nishikawa to get things going here for the Buffaloes. Takahashi, we noted last year he had dropped quite a bit of weight. It looks like he's even trimmed down even a little bit more than he was a couple of years ago. He did want to make the move to the North American side of the ledger to Major League Baseball, but nobody was interested in his services. He expressed that a couple of years ago, and I found it kind of interesting just in terms of his pathway and the way that he has performed in his career. For Takahashi, he came out and expressed at the end of the 2023 season that he wanted to move to Major League Baseball. The Lions blocked it, and he went out in the 2024 season and didn't win a game. He was 0-11. 2025, he rebounded last year. He was 8-9. This year, he's off to a pretty good start. He's 1-1 record-wise, but has been brilliant in terms of his pitching. First pitch of the ball game delivered to Yuma Mune, taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1, or at least to the Buffalo side of the ledger. We're here in the bottom of the first inning. It is a 0-0 scoreline. Fastball swung on, chopped over to the right side. It's going to be playable. Picked up by the first baseman, Hirasawa. He steps on the bag, and Mune is going to be retired on a ground out to 3. For out number 1, that is going to bring up the center fielder and Haruto Watanabe. Well, for Watanabe, he enters the season 3 for 5 at the plate, getting a start here tonight. Watanabe, the speedy center fielder, normally used for pinch running purposes or defensive replacements late in the game, takes a first pitch fastball at the knees for a called strike. Watanabe, the 26-year-old, batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Takahashi. So getting a odd start. There's a fastball that just misses down and away, and the count runs even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Takahashi getting the signs, ready to deliver again. Fastball just misses outside. Count goes to 2-1. I was commenting about the game tonight, but I also would comment about the lineups tonight too. It's not exactly the strongest lineups that I would have expected for either of these two clubs. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count runs to 2-2 on Watanabe. Look at some of the players for the Buffaloes, Watanabe being one of them. And then you look at Noguchi being another, of course, getting Kobayashi not being a regular. There's a fastball swung on. It's going to be lined into left field, down for a base hit. And the torrid start to the season for Watanabe continues as he's got himself a single, and that will bring up the left fielder in Ryoma Nishikawa. Well, for Nishikawa, he is batting .310 on the year. He's got a homer and 7 RBIs as he steps to the dish. As we mentioned earlier in the stream, there is a rainout tonight. That is the crosstown rivals. The Hanshin Tigers game against the Giants has been canceled due to the rain. So this brings Nishikawa to the plate, batting from the left side. The first pitch on the way, fastball center cut for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Got to keep your eye on Watanabe. He does run very well. So batting from the left side here is the right-hander Takahashi. Slings it over to first base, diving back in time as the other Watanabe. So 3 other games that are going on across the NPB tonight. 1 in the Central, other 2 games going on in the Pacific. Fastball swung on the runners in motion. It's grounded up the middle into center field. It's going to get through. And going all the way around to third is Watanabe on the base hit by Nishikawa. That's going to put runners at the corners with 1 gone, and it'll bring Bob Seymour to the plate. So one little item of maintenance that we want to do to get it out of the way in case people come rocking in here and always asking, where can we watch the game or where can we see the game? We'll provide that to you pretty much straight up here. It gives you a chance to go and find it for yourself. Yes, it is tonight. Where are the games and where can it be found? Broadcast schedule is on TV at JSport. Online streaming, well, DAZN's got it, Rakuten TV, or Baseball Alive. And so if anybody comes and asks, we'll just point them back to the 14-minute mark, and they can find out where that is from there. Let's bring Seymour to the plate, hitting .262 on the year, no homers and 4 runs driven in. As Takahashi delivers, it's a fastball swung on it, is grounded over to first. Fielded and stepped on the bag by Hirasawa. They got the runner in the rundown. Did they get him? Yes, they do. But is the run going to score? It's a timing play. It looks like he held up long enough to stay in the double play. And that is going to get a run across in Watanabe. And the Buffaloes have taken the lead here 1-0. So a double play. It goes in the books as a 6-3 double play. Seymour will be on for the 3rd out of the inning after Nishikawa is the 3rd out of the inning after being erased in this double play. 1 run in the inning on 2 hits. There was no errors, and there was nobody left aboard. Their scores were through 1 complete. It is the Buffaloes with a 1-0 lead over the Lions. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments with all the action on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Right back after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. That's right, everybody. We know baseball. We know it's the top of the second inning, and that'll be Seiya Watanabe, Taiga Kojima, and Yuta Nakami to come to bat here in inning number 2 against the right-hander Anderson Espinoza, who only threw 10 pitches in the first inning. The first pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Watanabe. The 23-year-old Watanabe hitting .267 on the year, a couple homers and 4 runs driven in. From the right side here against the right-handed throwing Espinoza, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on, chopped over to the second baseman. Oda fields it. He's got to hurry a bit, and he is going to gun down Watanabe. It's a ground out 4-3. So one gone here. They'll bring up the catcher in Taiga Kojima. Well, for Kojima, he is off to a pretty good start here. First round pick of the 2025 NPB draft, batting .261 with a couple homers and 3 RBIs. Batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Anderson, who kicks and fires. Fastball misses up and away, and the count is quickly 1-0. If you're listening to us tonight, we're going to be back on the airwaves again tomorrow, as well as for the Friday games in Japan. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 1-1, and we'll try to get the next 4 days in as well. So we'll post up our schedule here. Follow along with us. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball down, and the count now goes to 2-1 to Kojima. Has a rather tall stance here, does the catcher for the Lions. Pitch on the way. It is a breaking ball swung on. It's lifted into the seats over on the third base side. Count goes to 2-2. And as mentioned, might be pick your own section tonight in Osaka for this ball game. Lots of empty seats all around the stadium. And if you're doing the cameras, well, you want to keep low camera angles so it's not to show the empty seats. There's a fastball missing up and in. Count goes to 3-2 on Kojima. Wonder how the players respond to playing in a almost empty stadium. I know what it's like when you're in a stadium and it's just like the silence is deafening. Fastball swung on, line down the left field line. It's going to get off the wall into the corner. Kojima digging for 2. Here comes the throw. It's not going to be in time, and he's going to have himself a 1-out double. Just getting back to the silence being deafening. You can't even hear it's funny, like it's almost like you can't even hear the players talking on the field. You think you could, but it's almost like being in a vacuum. Nice piece of hitting there by Kojima, staying inside the ball and going the other way with the pitch. So he's aboard with the Lions' first hit of the game. It's going to bring Yuta Nakami to the plate. Nakami batting an even 100 in the early going with a homer and 2 RBIs. Fastball misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. 23-year-old hitting from the left side. Waggling the bat, waiting on the pitch here from Espinoza. Espinoza has a very interesting look this year. His hair is in a ponytail in the middle of the back, and there's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Just a single long ponytail for the right-hander as he works himself into the set position. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. On its way, fastball swung on and missed, and now the count quickly goes to 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes. We will keep our eye on the scores around the NPB tonight, As we mentioned, there are 2 other games in the Pacific, 1 other game that's going on in the Central League. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Oh, the Cammy stood there and watched that one go by for out number 2. That's going to bring up the right fielder in Alexander Canario. And there is scoring across all the Pacific. The bottom of the first inning, the Marines have a 1-0 lead over the Fighters. And at the bottom of the first inning at the PayPay Dome, it is the Eagles with a 1-0 lead over the Hawks. Dragons and Carp, no score in that one. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. Count is 1-0 to Canario. Canario hitting .227 in the early going, no homers and 6 RBIs. As Espinoza ready to go again. Kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball missing inside. The count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. The crowd for the Lions holding the Dominican flag for Canario and waving it in support of him as he waits on the 2-0 pitch here from Espinoza. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses down. It's now 3-0. They do have the open base. Makes you wonder why they maybe wouldn't just hold the 4th finger up so they could get on to the next hitter, Taiga Hirasawa. Our friend Samurai Prayer says people don't really always drive their own cars. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 3-1, and he says so they tend to stay home when it's raining. Interestingly enough, you would think that with all the lovely subway systems and commuter rail systems that exist, that people would try to take advantage of that. Here's the 3-1 pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now ball 4 as Canario is going to get himself a walk. That's going to put runners at first and second with 2 gone. And it's going to bring Taiga Hirasawa to the plate. Well, for Hirasawa, batting an even 200. Stepping in here to face the right-hander Espinoza for the first time. Hirasawa taps both sides of the plate. 2 for 10 in the early going to begin the season for the Lions. As the right-hander delivers, there's a breaking ball down. Good stop there by Tomoya Mori. Count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball, no strike it is. Mori gets himself a new baseball here for the pitcher Espinoza. Seems to like that one. He didn't like the other one, I don't think. I'll rub it up and we go back to work again. Espinoza again holding to the set position. Here comes the 1-0. Kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the third base line. Count now runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Some late night baseball or early morning baseball if you are in North America. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on, popped up behind home plate, giving chase is Mori. And that one's going to reach the seats. Tomoya Mori losing the helmet, showing everybody his fresh plume. It's like he's got his hair dyed blonde. That was a 2-seam fastball from Espinoza. Had a little backdoor run to it. Like it was coming inside. Good job by the hitter to be able to fight it off. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Hirasawa as the right-hander Espinoza ready to go again. Gets his sign from the catcher Mori. Works himself to the set. Checks that runner at second base. And now they go to second base with an attempted pickoff, and getting back in time is the runner Kojima. So runners at first and second here. Try to get them napping. Well, sometimes that's the case. You got a young base runner. The right-hander again works himself to the belt, checks the runner at second. Now delivers. Split figure pitch misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the catcher, Mori, flashing the signs to the starter, Espinoza. Here comes the pitch. On the way, fastball. Ooh, a lot of backdoor run on that 2-seamer, but not enough to get the call. It runs the count to 3-2. It had Hirasawa literally jumping out of the way. It was a good job there by Mori to frame it, but didn't get the call. So 3-2 it remains here to Hirasawa. Espinoza again working to the set. Now delivers. There's a fastball taken right down the middle for a called third strike. If you want to say that those 2 pitches were tunneled properly, definitely set Hirasawa up for strike 3. That is going to do it here. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there was 2 runners left aboard. Scores we move to the bottom of the second inning. It is the Buffaloes 1, the Lions no score. Stick around, everybody. We're back at the call of bottom of inning number 2 when we return after this.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Ryo Oda, Masahiro Nishino, and Tomoya Mori to come to bat here to face Kona Takahashi in inning number 2. The 25-year-old second baseman Oda waiting on the first pitch here. That's a breaking ball. Take it for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Takahashi only 10 pitches in his first inning work. Oda batting .283, homer and 7 runs batted in, swings at the fastball and lines it right to the glove of the third baseman, Watanabe. He's going to be gone for the first out of the inning, so 1 up and 1 away. It's going to bring up the designated hitter in Masahiro Nishino. We didn't give the defensive alignment for the Lions in this one, as we had that double play that ended the inning abruptly in inning number 1. Defensively tonight for the Lions from left to right, it is Nakami in left, Kuhara in center, and Canario in right. Around the horn from first to third, Hirasawa is at first. The second baseman is Sato, shortstop Genda, third baseman is Watanabe, with the battery of Takahashi and Kojima. And the first pitch was a fastball taken for a strike by Nishino. There he swings at it. He grounds it softly over to the right side as it is fielded neatly by Hirasawa. He's going to step on the bag for the second out of the inning. So that is 2 gone here, and that'll bring up the catcher in Tomoya Mori. Got to keep your eye on Maury here. He likes to swing at the first pitch. He's a very aggressive hitter. And he definitely comes up chopping right out of the dugout. So let's see what we have here. Here comes the first pitch from Takahashi. Pitch on the way, fastball taken on the inside corner for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So I say that, and Maury proves me wrong. He makes me look like a liar on that one. So the ball's a 1 strike. As Takahashi again ready to go. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses down. The count goes even at 1-1. Friend God is Great is in the house. We welcome you into the stream. Ken, appreciate you for popping in. Not sure what your weather is like. We had cold rain here today. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is 2-1. And more in store in the forecast for tomorrow. So 2-1 here tomorrow. He one-time Saitama Seibu Lion. In fact, he was at the best years of his career with the Lions. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 3-1. I say the best years of his career. He was the Pacific League MVP in the Lions uniform, but has only not quite had that success with the Buffaloes. There's a fastball swung on, chopped to the right side, fielded by Hirasawa. He's going to win the race to the base as he'll take it himself, and that is going to do it here. A ground out to 3 for out number 3. That's going to do it for the Buffaloes in their half of the second. They go in order with no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 2 complete. It is the Lions trailing the Buffaloes 1-0, and we'll be back in just a bit with all the action on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Glad you guys could hang in here with us tonight. Some late night action. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 9-1-2 hitters to come to bat for the Lions. That means Sato, Kuwahara, and Genda face the right-hander Espinoza here in inning number 3. So it is Sato stepping to the plate, 0 for 2 on the season. Batting from the left side here against Espinoza as the right-hander rocks into the windup and delivers. Fastball swung on line into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And the Lions have their leadoff hitter aboard here to start inning number 3. It's going to bring up the top of the order in Masayuki Kuwahara. Our friend Samurai Prayer says, or our friend God is Great says, Samurai Prayer, have you watched the news about the 11-year-old boy that was killed? Interesting. I haven't seen anything over there in Japan. That would be tragic. And be big news across the country, I would think. Kuwahara stepping to the plate. His averages dipped to 297 with 1 homer and 3 runs batted in. As the right-hander Espinoza works himself to the set position. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses down and in. Count quickly 1-0. 33 pitches through 2 innings for Espinoza. Tick in that second inning as he had only thrown 10 in inning number 1. Batting from the right side here, Kuwahara against the right-hander Espinoza. Here comes the 1-0 offering. Pitch on the way, swung on, chopped softly in front of the plate. The runner was in motion. Picking it up as Maury. They fired a first. That's going to be a ground out. It's going to go 2-3 in the books. Advancing over to second was Sato, as he made it there safely as they were swinging to keep out of the double play. It was basically a swinging bunt, as Kuwahara is all smiles as he comes back to the dugout. That is going to bring up the shortstop in Sosuke Genda. They had zero chance at second base to be able to try to get the lead runner. As we said, he was in motion at the time of the pitch. So that now brings Genda to the plate. 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to short his first time up. I really like Genda's bat. He's got this massive knob at the end of it. And the pitch all the way. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Our friend God is Great said, been missing for 3 weeks. His shoes were found one day, his backpack a different day. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-1. You often wonder what possesses someone to do something of that nature. I can never figure it out. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-2 on Genda. That was that backdoor run from Espinoza. The pitch looked like it was coming inside. The next thing you know, it darts across the plate. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it remains as the righty Espinoza checks that runner over at second base. Here's the 1-2. Fastball misses outside. The count now goes to 2-2. Buffaloes grab that early 1-0 lead in the first inning on the Bob Seymour double play. They were able to cash a run in. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. As Espinoza delivers, it's a fastball that just misses down. Count now goes to 3-2 on Genda. That might be a veteran call for Genda. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Waiting his turn on deck is Anko Lin, who's off to a decent start here in the NPB. 3-2 pitch coming. Fastball misses inside. It's going to be ball 4. That's going to walk Genda. So that's going to put runners at first and second. That's going to bring Lin to the plate. Well, for Lin, 0 for 1 tonight. He popped out to third in the first inning to end it. As I mentioned, he's got a home run and 4 runs are driven in on the early going. As the right-hander ready to deliver, there's a fastball taken on the inside corner for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Lin. Our friend God is Great says that the stepfather said he dropped him off at school 3 weeks ago, but no one saw him drop it off. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a red flag ready to happen. So here comes the 0-1 pitch as Espinoza delivers. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. If you're just joining us, the Lions have runners at first and second with 1 gone here in the top of the third. They're trailing the Buffaloes 1-0. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Lin. Espinoza kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball missing up and away, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. Yeah, you often wonder what possesses people to do such a thing. So 2 balls and 1 strike. As the right-hander kicks and fires, there's a fastball missing down, and the count goes now to 3-1. So 3 balls and a strike. Waiting on deck is the third baseman, Seiya Watanabe. So Espinoza has all of a sudden found his control to go sideways here. 3-1 pitch coming to Lynn on the way. Fastball swung on, popped into shallow center field. Racing in on it is the left fielder, Nishikawa. He's going to make the catch off his shoestrings. Watanabe was playing well deep into center field and also shading to right center. He had to come a long way to go, but it was Nishikawa who hauls that one in. As Lynn is going to be gone for the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up and leave up it all to the third baseman, Seiya Watanabe. And for Watanabe, well, he's 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded out to second his first time up. As he steps up to the plate. And the pitch on the way to Watanabe as the breaking ball swung on, grounded softly over to third. They're going to have to hurry to get him, and it's not going to be able to make a play as Mune picks it up, but he's not going to be able to throw it. Watanabe, who gets along the line pretty good. That's going to load the bases. So you're going to have Sato goes over to third, over to second is Genda. And Watanabe with an infield single is now going to bring up Taiga Kojima to the plate, who's already got himself a double here tonight. He got the ground ball he wanted. It just wasn't hit hard enough, and Mune had to come a long way. Good decision probably by Mune to eat it. They wouldn't have had a chance at the runner at first. That is now going to bring the pitching coach out to the mound to have a word with the right-hander. So Espinoza getting his drink of water and be ready to return to the action. So Espinoza gets himself a new baseball. He has a look over at the runner at second base and kind of feigns him back. I think that's Genda that he's kind of chuckling with. This brings Kojima to the plate, who's 1 for 1. He's got that double. He's raised his season average to 277. First pitch on the way. Fastball misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Just as it's a quiet night in Osaka, it's a quiet night in our stream tonight, but we are glad for those folks who have popped in. At the bare minimum to say hello. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count runs even to 1-1 on Kojima. Important at bat right here. Bases full with only 1 gone here in the inning. Check that, 2 gone here in the inning. Better keep that coffee pouring in. Help us stay awake here in this one. And it's a breaking ball that just misses outside. And the count goes now to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. It's a much different looking Lions lineup when you think about it from last year. Genda, Watanabe, and of course, Sato and Hirasawa were around last year, but not who I would call regulars. There's a fastball swung on and lifted into the seats, foul over on the third base side. The count now goes to 2-2. So the Lions, with a big-time makeover of what they can run onto the field, I would have to say that they'll be in a position where they can start competing for a playoff spot. I just don't think they got enough in them this year. I'm a little surprised with the Eagles' hot start. I would have to think the Fighters and the Hawks are playing for 1-2 and everybody else for position number 3. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Kojima's gone for out number 3, and that is going to do it here in inning number 2. Well, Espinoza gets himself into trouble. He's able to get himself out of it. No runs in the inning, 2 hits, no errors, and 3 runners left the board. Moving to the bottom of the third inning, your score is the Buffaloes 1, the Lions no score. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the third when we return after this on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Thank you for hanging with us here tonight. We'll be back in just a bit.
Hello? Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game, really exciting, lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course, I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, I got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Ryota Kita, Tomoya Noguchi, and the top of the order, Yuma Mune, to come to bat here in inning number 3 to face the right-hander Kona Takahashi. Takahashi has retired the last 4 batters as the pitch is a fastball that misses outside. The count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. 19 pitches in the first 2 innings for the right-hander as he delivers a breaking ball that misses down and in. And the count now quickly goes to 2-0 on Kita. So 2 balls, no strikes. Again, the right-hander ready to go again. Kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses outside. They appeal to the third base umpire, but they say it didn't go. It goes now to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. Again, the right-hander working into the delivery. There's a fastball center cut for a called strike. Count is 3-1 to Kita. Kita making his season debut tonight. He does not have any plate appearances in the 2026 season. The right-hander Takahashi delivers. Breaking ball swung on and missed. It goes to 3-2. Got to tell you that as a hitter's dream, that last pitch, I think that Kita would want that back. It was a breaking ball that didn't break a whole lot, and it hung right up. He swung right through it. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, grounded over the right side, fielded neatly by the second baseman, Sato, who throws to first, and Kita's retired on a ground out 4-3. I think he'll lament that second strike if he goes back and watches the video. That is going to bring up the shortstop in Tomoya Noguchi. And our Filipino friend in here, he says, I remember 2 years ago when the Lions were as bad as the Rockies. Yeah, they were. The Lions were a really, really tough group to watch. There's a fastball that misses outside. Count as 1-0. I even saw him in person a couple of years ago, and I thought, But, I have to say, at the end of the 2024 season, they actually started to play decent baseball. So from about the middle of August right on through till the end of the year, and they took that momentum in with them last year. They built on it. And I would have to think that they are going to be a little bit better than that this year. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is now 2-0. Yeah, bad as the Rockies and the White Sox. Yeah, White Sox have been pretty bad too. But White Sox are trending on the upside. I think they're probably about 2 years away from where they can have some respectability. Fastball, take it for a called strike. Count is 2-1. One of the things that I understand with the White Sox, it has nothing to do always with the players. It's the management. It's the scouting. Everything that was in that organization when Chris Getz took over. Fastball swung on, pop foul into the third base side. The count is 2-2. They had to go in and retool a lot of things. I understand there were a lot of people that were still hanging on to that World Series victory from about 20 years ago and hadn't done anything since. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and Noguchi's in the books for the second out of the inning. By my counts, that is the first strikeout recorded by Takahashi tonight. That'll bring up the top of the order in Yuma Mune. And so when you think about that ball club in Chicago, just the retooling, Getz has gone international as he brought back Anthony Kay from Yokohama. He brought in, was it Eric Fetty last year or 2 years ago from the KBO? So bringing some guys back who are bounce-back candidates. Fastball misses outside. And, of course, signing Munetaka Murakami. That was a bit of a shocker. The White Sox got him on a 2-year deal. for them, almost a low risk, high reward type thing. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count goes to 1-1. He says, hopefully they'll build around Murakami. They might build around Murakami, or they might be building around some of the others, like the addition of Luis Helacuna. Fastball swung on, grounded over to short. Genda one-hands it. He fires to first on the run. And Mune's gone on a ground out 6-3 for out number 3 here in the third inning. Well, they go quickly and quietly through the Buffaloes. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We are a third of the game in the books, and your score is the Orix Buffaloes with a 1-0 lead over the Saitama Seibu Lions. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. Anderson Espinoza back on the mound for inning number 4. Cami Canario and Hirasawa to come to bat here. And the first pitch is a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. That was quickly 0-1 to Nakami. Nakami 0 for 1 tonight. He had struck out looking his first time up as he takes a ball that bounces to the plate inside. The count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander Espinoza with the ball at his chest. He delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. Right-hander again rocks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nakami. There are some ugly numbers in the batting orders for both of these teams tonight. The right-hander rocks and delivers. It's a split finger pitch missing down. The count now goes full to Nakami. I was saying before, with the lack of crowd support in this game, I wonder what the vibe for these players would feel like. There's a fastball swung on and grounded foul on the first base side. Count remains full to Nakami. Exactly how they would feel about the game itself and how much energy it would bring to the team. Got very little, as we said, crowd at the game. There's a breaking ball, again taken for a called third strike, and Nakami watches that one go by. He's gone for the first out of the inning, and by our counts, that's the 4th strikeout recorded by Espinoza. We'll bring up the right fielder and Alexander Canario. Just froze him yet again, as he had looked like he had no clue what to look for. That pitch was on the outside part of the plate. You have to think. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined down the right field line. If it stays fair, it's going to be trouble, and it's just going to slice foul. The Canario had hit that ball hard, but foul for out number 1, or foul for strike number 1. Canario waggling his bat. As Anderson Espinoza working quickly, he swings and fouls this one away, this time on the third base side. The count is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Canario waggling the bat as the right-hander delivers again. There's a Fastball swung on and missed, and Canario is down on strikes. He's gone for out number 2. Strikeout number 5 recorded by Espinoza. He's going to bring up the first baseman in Taiga Hirasawa. Well, for Hirasawa, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He is struck out in his only trip to the plate. As the right-hander Espinoza delivers, there's a fastball that bounces up to the plate, and the count is 1-0. It looked like it was of a split-finger variety. So 1 ball and no strikes. Right-hander against the left-hander. Espinoza rocks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on, and it's going to be grounded through the 4-hole into right field. That's going to be a base hit. So Hirasawa aboard is going to put him aboard with a 2-out single. It'll bring Taya Sato to the plate. It was funny. I was watching on TikTok the other day, Tracy Smith, the head coach at the University of Michigan, and he had an interesting way of describing what you wanted to do on ground balls to the right side of the infield. If it was the first baseman, when to leave the bag. If it's slow, you go. If it was hard, you stay. Fastball misses up, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Sato. And Bob Seymour would have subscribed to that because that ball was hit very hard into the 4-hole, and he just went to first base. If it was slow, you go. He would have maybe had a chance at it. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that just misses, and the count now goes to 2-0 on Sato. If you ever get a chance to check out Coach Smith's TikTok page at the University of Michigan, he's got a lot of good stuff. Talks about a variety of things. Talks about the coaching, technical stuff, but also talks about recruiting, what players need to do. There's a fastball on the inside corner for called strike, and the count is now 2-1 to Sato. He provides some pretty good insight into a variety of things. I don't know why it keeps coming up on my page, but it does, and that's not a bad thing. But certainly Tracy Smith, a lot of insight, a lot of years. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say he was one time the coach at Indiana. There's a fastball swung on, and it is lifted foul down the left field line. The 1975 WSP says, "Is this live?" Yeah, you bet it is. We're not going to be doing 1975 throwbacks. I can guarantee you that. Welcome to the channel tonight. Glad you can make it in. And so what does it mean by being live as the 2-2 pitch is ready to come here from Espinoza? As he kicks and delivers, a fastball swung on it is chopped over to second, fielded neatly by the second baseman, Oda. He throws to first, and that is going to do it. Sato's gone on a ground out 4-3. And he's gone for out number 3. So that'll do it here for the Lions in their half of the 4th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning, it is a 1-0 lead for the Buffaloes. Stick around. We'll be back in just a couple of moments, and we'll come back and roast the 1975 WSP. No, we're just kidding. We'll come back and chat with the chat after this musical timeout. Appreciate you for popping in tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back in just a bit.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the bottom half of inning number 4, 33 pitches through 3 innings for Kona Takahashi, as he is ready to face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the Buffalo lineup. And The first pitch is a fastball delivered to Haruto Watanabe, taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. From the 1975 WSP says, is it live? I got to tell you an interesting story on this. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded up the middle, fielded by Genda, throws to first, and that's going to retire the speedy Watanabe on a ground out 6-3. So one up and one away. It'll bring up the left fielder in Ryoma Nishikawa. I was telling the story a couple of years ago when I was in Japan watching the Lions play the Chiba Lotte Marines. It was interesting because there was an injury on the play, and I pulled up my phone to pull up the game live. I was starting to watch the game live, and there was a good solid 15-second delay between the feed and the game. And there's a first pitch fastball delivered to Nishikawa that misses inside for ball one. Count is 1-0. And when you add on another 7-second delay with the StreamYard application, it could be a 20-second delay between our call and what is going on in Japan. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count goes to 1-1. So, yeah, it's live, but the delays between the feeds will add seconds to that. There's a split finger pitch swung on and it is fouled off the foot of Nishikawa, and that count runs now to 1-2. So 1-2 strikes. So that is the one drawback, or at least that I find, with the live feeds. And I also would say this for the people that do come in and do like to gamble and play their money. As the pitch is swung on and is lined foul into the netting down the left field line, the count remains at 1-2. One of the things that I do think that is interesting is if you're going to do live gambling, you'd like to think that the feeds would be absolutely live as well. As the 1-2 pitch on the way, it is a fastball that just misses down the way. Takahashi didn't like it. Count runs to 2-2. I got to tell you, the home plate umpire tonight by both pitchers, he's not going to get any Christmas cards from them, that's for sure. He's not been as generous with the strike zone. There's a fastball swung on, grounded to short. Genda fields it out with one hand, fires to first, and that is going to retire Nishikawa on a ground out 6-3. So 2 outs here in the inning. It brings up the first baseman and Bob Seymour. Our Filipino friend says, does this Lions lineup have a young core? It's a good question. I think this Lions lineup tonight has an interesting lineup. I mean, right now, I think Watanabe is maybe the young core that I like. There's a breaking ball missing up and away to Seymour. And Ko Lin, who they signed from the Chinese Professional League, is an intriguing player. There's a breaking ball missing down and away. And then the first round pick, Kojima. So those three that are in the lineup here tonight, with the two veterans, Genda and Kurihara, make for an interesting lineup. There's a fastball swung on and fouled right into the catcher, Kojima, and is going to need a moment to collect himself. As the count is 2-1. But I look at some of the other players in the lineup, whether it be Sato or Hirasawa or, even Canario to some degree, keeping the seat warm for other players to come along. So I do think that the Buffaloes are a team in flux. And, of course, they don't have Tyler Nevin in the lineup right now. There's a fastball that misses down and in. The count is 3-1. Our friend Samurai Prayer says both of these clubs need to make some efforts to get new fans. Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that one. There's a fastball swung on, grounded over to first, fielded neatly by Hirasawa. He'll step on the bag, and Seymour's gone on a ground out to 3. This game here is like the video on YouTube. 24 hours of watching paint dry. If you've never seen it, flick it on. It is fantastic to watch. You can watch 24 hours of paint drying, and that's what this feels like right now. Well, we're through 4 complete. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board in this half inning. We'll be back with the top of the 5th when we return. In just a few, your score is the Buffaloes with a 1-0 lead over the Lions. We'll see exactly just how quickly that paint will dry when we return after this timeout.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We're a little slow to get back in the saddle. It is 1-1 to Masayuki Kuwahara as he will lead it off here in the fifth inning. Kuwahara, Genda, and Anko Lin to face the right-hander Espinoza, who delivers a breaking ball outside. The count goes to 2-1. 70 pitches through 4 innings for the right-hander as he rocks himself into the windup and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 2-2. I have to say, Espinoza is not what I would call exactly the most efficient in his pitches tonight, as he has struggled with his command at times. Here's the 2-2. Fastball swung on, chop foul over on the third base side. The count remains at 2-2. But all that be, he does have a 1-0 lead here in inning number 5. Takahashi, who, at least in my opinion, appears to be much better, does not have any support offensively. There's a ground ball hit over to third. Mune fields it, moving to his left. He fires to first, and Kuwahara is going to be gone on a ground out 5-3. So 1 up and 1 away here to start the 5th inning, and that'll bring up the shortstop in Sosuke Genda. Well, for Genda, he is officially 0 for 1. He has grounded to short, and he has also drawn a walk. Lions have left 6 runners aboard in the first 4 innings. That has been the story in this one. They've had all kinds of runners all over the base paths, but unable to cash in anything so far against the starter Espinoza. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. As we mentioned, we'll be back on the airwaves late the next couple of nights as that breaking ball misses way outside. The count is 1-1 to Genda. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the right-hander delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on. This is lifted into deep right center field. Giving chase is Watanabe, and he's going to make the catch on the run. And that is going to retire Genda for the second out of the inning. He had to get on his horse to Watanabe, but he is going to haul it in for out number 2, and that is going to bring up Anko Lin to the dish. And for Anko Lin, well, he is 0 for 2 tonight. He has popped to third and flown to left in his 2 trips. And the pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Well, maybe Espinoza has found his touch again. Right-hander delivers. There's a fastball that just misses outside. Count goes to 1-1. Top of the fifth inning here. Buffalo's clinging to a 1-0 lead. As the right-hander delivers again, breaking ball, take it for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-2 on Lynn. So 1-2 strikes. You get into the Buffalo bullpen. If they can get Espinoza one more inning, as the 1-2 on the way, it is spiked up to the plate. The count goes to 2-2. The Buffalo bullpen can be a very, 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 very difficult with Machado, Perdomo on the back end. Not sure how much Yoshi Harano we're going to see these days. Mukanoki, others. Even Yamazaki. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed, and Lynn is in the books for out number 3, and that is going to do it here for the Lions in their half of the fifth inning. They had no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. As they go in order, we are halfway through this one. It is the Buffaloes still with a 1-0 lead. We'll be back in just a couple moments to bring you all the action on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Thanks for popping in and checking us out tonight. We'll be back in just a bit.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. It'll be Ryo Oda, Masahiro Nishino, and Tomoya Mori to come to bat here in inning number 5. As the first pitch from Takahashi is a fastball swung on and lifted foul. The count is quickly 0-1. If you're coming in looking for the under in the first 5, well, you are in luck, as your chances are pretty good that it's going to take hold. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count goes even to 1-1 on Oda. So 1-1 strike. Takahashi kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball missing down and away, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2-1 strike. Getting the right-hander ready to go again as he holds himself to the set. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats. Down the first base line, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Oda. I mentioned that Oda has really blossomed in the last couple of years. He had himself a great season last year, hitting .283, entering the fray tonight. And probably the best is still yet to come as the 2-2 on the way. Fastball swung on the fist, grounded softly over to second, fielded by Sato. He throws to first. Oda's gone on a ground out 4-3, so 1 up and 1 away. He'll bring up the DH and Masahiro Nishino. And when you look at Nishino, he is sort of the one who is, what I would say, passing the torch. He'll be 36 years old this year. Nishino, by his own accord, had a pretty good season the last couple of years. But he is getting a little bit long in the tooth. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. He does get a lot of time at second base as well, or used to get a lot of time at second base. As the pitch on the way is a fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats. The count is now 0-2. At a career high last year with 7 home runs, did Nishino. As he hit .287, that followed up a year he hit .300. As the right-hander Takahashi kicks and delivers, there's a split finger pitch swung on in, fouled off into the catcher Kojima, and the count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander Takahashi kicks and delivers. It's a fastball missing way upstairs. Count goes to 1-2. Interesting, as we said before, that Takahashi looking to go to Major League Baseball last year and nobody wanting to pick up his services. I heard there was some offers, but I heard they were AAA type offers, or maybe an offer like Oga Sawara had a couple of years ago. As that fastball misses down, it's now 2-2. Where they were interested, sort of not interested in him. Not going to give you a big time deal. It's going to be more of a two-way contract. There's a fastball swung on, grounded up the middle, past the feet of the pitcher, and that is going to be a base hit here for Nishino. He's aboard with a 1-out single. And that is going to snap the streak of what we had of 11 in a row retired by Takahashi. That puts a runner at first with 1 gone. It brings Tomoya Mori to the plate. Well, for Tomoya Mori, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded out to first his first time up. So he steps in here, hitting from the left side. He got the nod behind the plate tonight to catch. It's his pretty much Kenya Wakatsuki's job now for all intents and purposes. Here comes the first pitch. Fastball swung on, popped up foul over on the third base side, giving chase is Kojima, but he's going to watch that sail into the seats, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. And the right-hander gets a new baseball. He's ready to go again as Mori digs himself in at the plate. Pitch on the way. Fastball just misses outside. Takahashi didn't like the pitch, or didn't like the call, I should say. You could just see how he wasn't there. 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Then the right-hander Takahashi sets himself at the belt, now delivers. Fastball swung on, lifted into left field. He started back, and then he had to come in on it. And making the catch on the run is the left fielder, Nakami. That's going to retire Mori for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to the right fielder in Ryota Okita. Well, for those of you who just joined us, it's going to be the Japanese halftime after the third out of this inning. That means that we'll take a 5-minute break. And we will go get ourselves a refresh on our beverage. As it is this one here. They do that 5-minute break, or for some people, they say it's the smoke break for the players. They used to do a lot of that. And the first pitch fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. Coming hard is Canario. He slides and it gets by him and it goes all the way to the wall. This is going to be an adventure. Rounding third and coming home with the second run of the game is Nishino. And they're going to have a 3. I don't know if they're going to rule it as a triple or a 3-base error, but regardless, Kita is standing on third. In is Nishino. And that has given the Buffaloes a 2-0 lead here. On some shoddy defense by the right fielder Canario. He slid. He couldn't keep the ball in front. Ball got underneath him. If they would have made the mistake, you've got runners on first and second, maybe first and third, depending on the play, but he couldn't come up with anything other than air. Ball went all the way to the wall. Nice job by the center fielder, Kuwahara, backing up the play. Instead, they've got a runner at third. We'll have to get the official scoring on that to see if it was considered a hit or a error. I have a feeling it's going to be a hit because he never touched anything. But we'll wait for the official scoring on that. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1 to Tomoya Noguchi. Noguchi 0 for 1 tonight. He has struck out his only time up. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball hammered foul just down the first baseline. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. So curious to see what they will actually rule this as, hit or an error. You get caught up on the NPB site to this one. There's a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. They're going to have to throw to first to retire him, and that is going to be it. Well, it is going to be a triple for Kita as he gets his first hit of the season. He also gets an RBI to go with it. And Noguchi goes down on strikes. It's 2-3 on the putout. He's gone for out number 3. But the Buffaloes double their lead here in the inning. They got 1 run on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are through 5 complete innings. It is the Buffaloes with a 2-0 lead. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We do have that 5-minute break. We'll put the music on loop, and hopefully you guys will still be here when we return in just a bit. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the Lions coming back here in the 6th inning. It'll be the heart of the order. It'll be Watanabe, Kojima, and Nakami. We'll take a look at the scores from around the NPB tonight. One game going on in the Central League, top of the sixth inning. The Carp have a 1-0 lead over the Dragons in that one. Other games in the Pacific, the Marines and the Fighters tied at 5 in the top of the fourth inning. And, of course, the other ball game is the Eagles and the Hawks, 1-1 in the top of the fifth in that one there. Eagles are threatening, looking to add another run to the board. Well, we are back to the live action, and the first pitch delivered to Watanabe was taken for a ball, and the count is 1-0. And now he takes a fastball for a called strike. Count goes even to 1-1. 84 pitches through 5 innings for Espinoza. I would think this will be his swan song. I would have to think that maybe the bullpen will be getting going here as the fastball is lifted foul down the right field line. Count 1-2. I was saying the crowd tonight, not very good in Osaka, but I have to say it might have been a late arriving crowd. It looks like there's a few more seats that have been filled. My guess tonight is it's got to be around 11,000 fans. There's a ground ball hit to short, fielded on the backhand by the shortstop Noguchi. He fires to first. Watanabe gone on a ground out, 6-3 for out number 1 here in the sixth. And that is going to bring up the catcher in Taiga Kojima. And for Kojima tonight, well, he is officially 1 for 2. He's got a double in 2 trips. The Lions have 4 hits to their name tonight, as do the Buffaloes, except the difference is in the score. The Buffaloes are winning 2-0. As that breaking ball is chopped foul over on the first base side. The count is 0-1 to Kojima. So no balls and 1 strike. Average at 271 on the early going as the right-hander Espinoza deals. Breaking ball misses inside, and the count now even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the offering on the way, it's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes. Got the right-hander shaking off the sign, and now he ready to deliver. Here's the pitch. Split finger pitch, swung on and missed. Squirts away from Mori, picks it up, and he fires to first, and that is going to retire Kojima for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone here. It's going to leave it all up to Yuta Nakami. And if my counts are correct, that'll be the 7th strikeout of the ballgame recorded by Espinoza. And who knows, maybe we'll see him for another inning. He has really kind of settled down as of the last couple innings, as he has been able to retire 9 of the last 10 batters he's faced, as the first pitch breaking ball taken for a called strike. Counts 0-1 to Nakami. Nakami has been confused tonight by Espinoza. There's a breaking ball missing up and away. Count goes to 1-1. He has struck out looking both times against the right-hander. As Espinoza gets the sign, and he rocks himself into the windup, kicks and delivers. It's a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. Now the count goes to 1-2. This reminds me back in the day when we had our Korean friend who used to come into the chat, as well as our friend Ben Roberts, and it would be us two, or those two and myself, and that would be it, holding it down. That was quite a few years ago. But I guess we have one of those midweek nights that makes it feel the same way. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Oh, Nakami, a hat trick of called third strikes tonight. They'll be talking to him in the lab for sure after this one. They go in order to the Lions here. 7 in a row retired now by Espinoza. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We'll see if he comes back out for a 7th inning or if his night is done. Your scores, we move to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is a 2-0 lead for the Buffaloes. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action when we return. Hang with us, everybody. We'll be back in a just short a bit.
Hello? Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game, really exciting, lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, I got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. Kona Takahashi coming out to start his sixth inning work on 64 pitches, as he will be facing the top of the order. That'll be Mune, Watanabe, and Nishikawa. As Mune steps in here, ready to face him for the third time tonight. 0 for 2 is the left-handed hitting third baseman of the Buffaloes, as he takes a breaking ball outside. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Has the pitch on the way as a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count now runs even to 1-1. Our Filipino friend says he was looking so forward to the second game of a classic rivalry, as that's fastball lifted foul down the left field line. The count is 1-2. You must be talking about the game between the Giants and the Tigers, because it can't be this one, that's for sure. 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball down in the dirt, and it squirts away from Kojima, and that runs the count now to 2-2. I was saying that not a lot of people would have made their way over to the stadium from that one. There's a lot of rain in the Osaka area. 2-2 pitch coming here from Takahashi, as he delivers another split finger pitch and another one that misses down to Mune, and the count now goes to 3-2. Mune tonight at the plate 0 for 2, but defensively has put on a clinic. As by our accounts, it looks like he has been involved with 3 plays tonight. There he swings at the pitch. It's grounded softly over to first. Hirasawa fields it. He flips it to the pitcher, covering. It's going to go down as a ground out, 3-1. That's going to retire Mune for out number 1. That'll bring up the center fielder in Haruto Watanabe. Well, there's your play right there. We were talking about a couple innings ago. We were saying about the TikTok page of Tracy Smith, the manager of the University of Michigan baseball team, who has got a TikTok page. Ground ball to the right side. He says, if it's slow, you go. And that is exactly what he did, as it was a slow roller to the right side, and able to get it on the run, or moving to his right, was the first baseman Hirasawa, as he was able to flip it to the pitcher covering. It was a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Watanabe with a lot of wheels. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Interesting, Takahashi, when was really trying to get the attention of the third baseman, Watanabe, let him know that this guy is a exponential threat to do that. There was a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-2. And Watanabe kind of looking at Takahashi like, yeah, I know, and we're good. As the batter steps out and will reset himself and do it again. 4 for 7 on the season is Watanabe, and it's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count now goes to 1-2. Watanabe did score the first run of the game back in inning number 1, when he was able to score on that double play. And the pitch is a fastball swung on, is chopped over the head of the pitcher. They're going to have to hurry to get him. They throw to first. It's not going to be in time, but I do think they're going to go up and have a look at this one, as Hirasawa wants it, as does the manager, as he comes out to the forefront. Signals they want the video recall. We're going to get a look at this one here pretty quick. Worth a challenge anyway to keep him off the base paths. It was chopped over the head of the pitcher. They had to really hurry. Sato had come in, had to throw on the run. We'll get the look at it. Oh boy. I think he's going to be out. I think they're going to overturn this call. We'll get a different angle on it here. The other angle may show something different. Now we're going to have to make a call here on this angle. It's inconclusive. This one might take a while depending on the angle that they're getting. We'll get a look at the overhead view this time. Oh boy. You know what they say, strikes and outs make the game go quicker. And the tie, there's no such thing as tie goes to the runner. And I think he's going to be out. And I think they're going to come back up with the right hand, and I think this is going to be the second out of the inning. Oh, no, they come out, and it's a safe call. So it's going to be an infield hit for Watanabe. That last replay that we saw, it looked like he was going to be gone for sure. But no way, says the umpire, that is going to be a mistake on our end. So maybe we're going to be nailed with a challenge as well. So Watanabe beats it out, his second hit of the evening. That's going to bring up the left fielder in Ryoma Nishikawa. Well, for Nishikawa, he is 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's also grounded to short. 19 for 60 on the season, hitting .317. Back from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Takahashi. As the right-hander holds at the belt, here comes the first pitch. Kicks and fires. Breaking ball misses outside. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning, a 2-0 Buffalo lead here. As the right-hander works himself into the set position, here comes the 1-0 pitch. On its way, there goes the runner down to second. The throw is not in time, and it's offline. And Watanabe's got himself a stolen base. That's going to be his second of the year. So he slides in head first safely, and that is going to bring up, that's going to keep the count here to Nishikawa. I believe that was a ball up and away. I'll have to take a look at that one. I'll have to wait and see what the umpire says on that, as the batter was taking all the way. Oh, it was actually called a strike on Nishikawa. So 1 ball and 1 strike to him. With Watanabe over at second. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. As the right-hander checks the runner, now delivers. It's a breaking ball missing down and away, and the count goes to 2-1 on Nishikawa. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and popped up foul into the seats. That's going to run the count to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander Takahashi again gets himself back on the mound. The left-handed hitting Nishikawa with an even count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander checks the runner, now delivers. Breaking ball misses way outside. The count goes full. Almost want to put the runner on here so you got a chance to roll a double play. It's Bob Seymour who is waiting his turn on deck. Of course, not the most fleetest of foot. He does run pretty good for a big guy, but not necessarily the speed that you would see from some of the other players. And there is a difference. Guys who run well or guys who lumber. And for a big fella, he runs not bad, surprisingly. When you think of Cedeno, who used to play a couple years ago with the Buffaloes, he did not particularly run well. He lumbered. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. The count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Nishikawa. Buffalo supporters are in voice here as they are cheering on. Well, they aren't not there in numbers, but they are there with their support. And the right-hander delivers again. It's a fastball swung on. It is hit at a left field, and falling down is the left fielder. Unbelievable. Have a night, Nakami. That ball goes all the way into the left field corner. And rounding second and holding it second with a double is going to be Nishikawa. He's going to get himself a double and an RBI. Oh, did he blow a tire or what? Nakami, he was struck out 3 times tonight. It looked like he was shot. There was a sniper somewhere in the audience that took him out. And to score Watanabe, the 3rd run of the game for the Buffaloes. Takahashi's got to feel snake bitten out there on the mound. I don't know what more he's got to do, but it's going to go as a double for Nishikawa. It's going to be the easiest double he's hit in his career. We'll get a look at the replay ourselves. It was a split-finger pitch that he golfed out, and he was going toward the foul line. Was Nishikawa, and he absolutely face-planted. I don't know if he got his cleats caught in the turf, or was the left fielder Nakami, he face-planted. Ball goes all the way into the corner. I always say to yourselves after a game when you're watching something like this, you just hope nobody gets hurt. Unreal. That brings Pop Seymour to the plate with 1 gone and a runner at second. And Nakami, I have a feeling after tonight's game, he might be a while for him to get back in the lineup. 3 called strikes looking, and then that play there. First pitch to Seymour. Breaking ball misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. That play would have been an absolute howler, or certainly was an absolute howler. We see it's the second time tonight that the Lions defense has missed an outfield ball. Canario, inning before, trying to dive for a ball, turned a single into a triple for Kita. So 1 ball and 1 strike as that breaking ball drops in, and it's Seymour who is looking to try to pad the lead a little bit more. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-2. I don't think Seymour liked that call. But it must be true, says the home plate umpire. Interesting. Entering the fray tonight, Takahashi had not allowed an earned run. 4 unearned runs. Well, these ones will be earned, but 2 of them certainly were questionable. No errors charged, but players falling down. There's a 2 pitch that's upstairs. It's down 2-2. Drive you insane. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Seymour. Right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the left field line. And 2-2 it remains. I guess the only interesting thing is, are we going to see Anderson Espinoza for his 7th inning of work? Or are we going to see some Buffalo bullpen action starting as soon as the 7th? Here comes the 2-1 pitch as the right-hander holds set. Now delivers. Fastball swung on, popped up on the right side of the infield. Over underneath it now is the shortstop as it's behind second base. He's going to, on the right field of second base is Genda, and he's going to make the catch. Seymour is going to be gone for the 2nd out of the inning, and that's going to leave it all up to Ryo Oda. It was a mile-high pop-up. And Genda had moved over to the right side of second base to make sure that he was able to secure it. That is going to leave it all up to Oda here, who is 0 for 2 tonight. Oda batting from the right side here has lined to third and grounded to second in his 2 trips. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball missing down, and the count goes to 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. This game here had a pretty good tempo and pace to it. All of a sudden, we hit the 6th inning, and it seems to have dragged a little bit. So 1 ball, no strikes it is. Right-hander delivers. It's a fastball missing just off the outside corner. The count now goes to 2-0 on Oda. So 2 balls and no strikes. 3-0 Buffaloes have increased the lead here in the 6th inning. The Lions are not out of the woods yet. Pitch number 90 of the ball game coming here for Takahashi, and now he steps off and feigns that rubber back to second base. We'll try to do this all over again. Here comes the 2-0 pitch as Takahashi works himself to the belt. Pitch on the way. Fastball taken for a called strike. Oh, that bugs me. He set up inside, completely misses his spot. The catcher goes way outside to catch the ball, and they give him the pitch. Doesn't make the umpire look good at all. So 2 balls and 1 strike it is. There's a little bit of etiquette when you're calling balls as strikes. Certainly, I know when you're on TV, it's a different thing, and certainly the way that the game has changed in North America, but definitely here. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As again, the right-hander works himself into the set. Now delivers. It's a fastball that misses down. Count now runs full to Oda. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander nodding in agreement as Takahashi gets his sign. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Checking the runner at second. On its way. Fastball. Take it for a called third strike. Oda goes down. He's gone for out number 3, and that is going to do it here in the 6th inning for the Buffaloes. But they padded their lead. An RBI double off the bat of Nishikawa. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left aboard. We are now through 6 complete. It is a 3-0 lead here for the Buffaloes. Back in just a couple of minutes with all the action. Appreciate you for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It is 3-0 Buffaloes when we return after this timeout.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. In turn, we support Steve Rademacher. Be sure to go check him out after the game, as it will keep you entertained. It has been a folly of defense for the Lions in this one from their outfielders, as they have turned singles into doubles and triples. Nishikawa being the beneficiary in that last half inning, driving home the 3rd run of the game for the Buffaloes. But the Buffaloes will take it. It is slated to be Canario, Hirasawa, and Sato to come to bat, but we are going to have a pitching change. As they are going to the bullpen, it is going to be number 59, Luis Perdomo, in for Espinoza. And The first pitch to Canario, a fastball swung on, lifted into center field. Moving back is Watanabe, and with one pitch, there is one away here to start the 7th inning. Canario in the books for out number 1, and that'll bring up the first baseman in Taiga Hirasawa. This reminds me, it's not a getaway day, but it reminds me of a getaway day in some regards. Just the approaches at the plate, the lack of competitiveness that the Lions have had here as this brings Hirasawa to the dish. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Single in 2 trips, taking a fastball on the inside corner for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into left field. Over underneath it is Nishikawa with room to make the catch, and that's going to retire Hirasawa for out number 2. Going to start asking the Lions if they got a plane to catch in this one, but they have to actually stay and play again tomorrow. So 2 gone here in the 7th. That brings up Taya Sato to the plate. Sato in this one, 1 for 2 tonight. I wonder if they even consider bringing Perdomo back again. There's a fastball swung on. This is belted into deep right field. This ball could be trouble. And this ball is gone. A home run as Sato has opened up the scoring for the Lions. A solo shot to right field. And that has cut the lead to 3-1 as he will make his trip around the bases for the first run of the ball game. And it'll bring up the top of the order in Masayuki Kuwahara. Ball was absolutely scorched. He pulled his hands inside and destroyed that ball. So Lions now trailing 3-1. Now this game here has been pretty much silent for the whole, a little bit here, a little bit there, but for the most part, not exactly the most entertaining ball game. And then all of a sudden, bang, that one happens. As that first pitch breaking ball misses down and away, and the count is 1-0 to Kuwahara. And the right-hander, Perdomo, delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This is going to be lined into left field. It's going to get down for a base set. And all of a sudden, a laser festival is broken out here in the 7th inning with 2 gone. And that'll bring up the shortstop in Sosuke Genda. So 2 balls absolutely scorched. The home run off the bat of Sato and the single off the bat of Kuwahara brings Genda to the dish, who's 0 for 2 tonight. He has also drawn a walk. And getting his lead over at first base. The pitch on the way is a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1 to Genda. Right-hander holds to the set. Now he throws over to first base and diving back in time is Kuwahara. Got to keep your eye on Kuwahara. He can run a little bit, not like he used to. He's got a stolen base this year. But with the Lions trailing by a pair, one would have to think probably not the right decision to put him in motion yet. There's a fastball missing down and away to Genda. The count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The right-hander, Perdomo, throws over to first, and again diving back safely is the runner. So 1 ball and 1 strike as the right-hander again works himself to the set position. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and grounded foul down the third base side. The count 1-2 to Genda. Well, it looks like Takahashi is going to come back in for another inning of work. He is up and throwing in front of the Lions dugout. Very interesting. As the 1-2 pitch on its way. It is a split-figure pitch swung on, tapped softly back to the pitcher, fielded neatly by the pitcher, Perdomo. He underhand flips to first. It's a ground out 1-3 for out number 3. And that is going to do it here in the 7th for the Lions. But the Lions get one back. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left aboard. Your scores, we move down to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is the Buffaloes with a 3-1 lead. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. Kona Takahashi on 93 pitches through 6 is out here to start inning number 7. The first pitch delivered to Masahiro Nishino, taken for a called strike. Counts 0-1. Nishino 1 for 2 tonight in this one, a single and 2 trips. He's scored one of the 3 runs for the Buffaloes. And there's a fastball swung on his, chopped over to third. It's off the bag. Watanabe's got to have to hurry, and the throw is not going to be in time. It was a ground ball that was hit down the third baseline, hit the bag, and popped straight up in the air. By the time he hauled it down, unable to make the play as Nishino has got himself an infield single. It's going to bring up Tomoya Mori to the plate. Well, for Mori, he is 0 for 2 in this one. He's grounded to first, and he has flown out to left. So it looks like high fives all the way around for Nishino, as it is going to be Kai Nakagawa in to run for him. We'll see if Nakagawa stays in the game in that spot or if he actually enters the game. So they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Nakagawa. So Mori standing in is seeing his season average drop to $1.47. They throw over to first again, and diving back again is the runner Nakagawa. As the right-hander leans in, gets the sign, and now he's ready to go back to work. Again, they throw back over to first, and again diving back in time is the runner, and as he dives back safely. So the right-hander again holds to the set, now delivers. Breaking ball misses outside. The count is 1-0 to Mori. 96 pitches now for the right-hander Takahashi. He leans in, he looks at Nakagawa, now he comes to the set. And the 1-0 on the way. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Tomoya Mori. Again, Takahashi working to the belt. Kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into straightaway center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Stopping at second is Nakagawa, and that's going to put runners at first and second with nobody out. That's going to bring Ryota Akita to the plate. So the Buffaloes have something brewing here in inning number 7 with runners at first and second and nobody gone. And Kita, who tripled home a run in the 5th inning and has grounded out in the 3rd, 1 for 2 tonight, striding to the plate. So Tamori Mori getting himself a base hit. That is, at least in his case, you'd think that he's getting off of the schneid. As Kita waits on the pitch here from Takahashi. And now they step off the backside of the rubber, and going back to second base is Nakagawa. So the right-hander again holding set, now delivers. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. Count quickly 0-1 to Kita. Welcome to those of you who have just joined us. It is a 3-1 ball game here between the Buffaloes and the Lions. Sparse crowd at the Kyocera Dome in Osaka for this one. It's buy your own section night, I think, is what they should have called it. Not a lot of people in attendance, nor has there been in our stream tonight for obvious reasons. Maybe they're somewhere else. There's a bunt, and it's going to be bunted foul behind home plate. Kita was late to square. It's going to run the count now to 0-2 on him. So runner at first is Mori. Runner at second is Nakagawa. It's the pinch runner. And Kita is in the hole here at no balls and 2 strikes. Looking around the league, Carp have a 3-0 lead over the Dragons. Marines scoring like crazy in that game, 8-6 over the Fighters. Here's the 0-2. It's a fastball swung on and grounded foul just past the first base coach's box. Count remains at 0-2. Yeah, the other game is the Eagles with a 2-1 lead over the Hawks. And you got to think about it, it's the top of the 6th inning, and the Marines have that 8-6 lead. And the irony to that is that we're in the bottom of the 7th inning, so we're not exactly like that far ahead. Game started at the same time. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and it's lifted foul, and that's going to slice just over the temporary seating. The count remains at 0-2 to Kita. Sometimes you see that happening when you get into the ball games and the runs are just scoring at a plentiful rate, but the thing that does slow the game down are the in-between or in the middle of the inning pitching changes. Here's the 0-2. Split figure pitch, swung on and missed. Kita takes off for first, but it doesn't matter because it's occupied. He's gone for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the shortstop in Tomoya Noguchi. And for Noguchi, well, as he comes to the plate here, he is 0 for 2 on this one. He has struck out both his times, facing the right-hander Takahashi. You'd have to think that maybe they're comfortable in giving Kentaro Kobayashi the full night off. As the pitch on the way is a breaking ball that is taken for a called strike. Oh, Noguchi didn't like the call as he leans backwards. The ball's a 1 strike. He is 2 for 15 to start the year. He's batting $113. As he waits on the pitch from Takahashi, who kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball missing outside. The count now goes even to 1-1. Takahashi now up to 105 pitches here this evening. I remember last year when we were doing games, there'd be pitchers that would throw 100-plus pitches over the course of a week. They'd have a half dozen guys. We'd be sitting in the middle of July and only able to find 2 pitchers that threw over 100 or more pitches in the MLB. Well, the game in North America has changed. That pitch is a split-finger pitch down in the dirt, and the count goes to 2-1. Some for the good and some for the not so good in terms of the way the game has changed. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Takahashi nodding in agreement. Takahashi has really slowed down here with the runners on base. There's a fastball swung on and grounded foul. Just past the bag at first base. Count goes to 2-2. Takahashi could use a ground ball here to induce a double play. The top of the order is looming next with Yuma Mune on deck. So Takahashi finally gets the sign that he likes from his catcher, Kojima, as the right-hander holds set. Here's the pitch. Split finger pitch, swung on and missed. That is exactly the same way. That's going to retire Noguchi for the second out of the inning. Now that's going to bring Yuma Mune to the plate. Well, for Mune, 0 for 3 tonight. He has grounded out each of his times he's come to the plate. Grounded to first, grounded to short, grounded to first a second time his last time up. So Takahashi trying to get out of this situation, and the Lions back on the sticks in inning number 8. They are getting into the deep water, that is for sure. As Takahashi holds to the belt, here's the pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1 to Mune. So no balls and 1 strike. Again, Mune waggling the bat, waiting on the offering here. As Takahashi delivers, it's a fastball swung on, chopped over to the left side, fielded by Watanabe. He throws to first, and that is going to do it. It's going to be a ground out 5-3 for out number 3, and that will do it here for the Buffaloes. Well, they threaten, but they can't come away with anything. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left stranded aboard. Your score as we move down to the top of the 8th inning. It is a 3-1 lead for the Buffaloes. Don't go away, anybody. The Lions feel a little bit pumped about how they're doing. We'll be back in just a few right after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the 8th inning, and we're just waiting on confirmation of a pitching change for the Buffaloes, as it was Luis Perdomo who was in for inning number 8. And we'll be looking to see who will take over here, or was in for inning 7. Inning number 8, well, that is going to be number 21. That is Sachiro Yamazaki, the lanky right-hander who is all arms and legs when he goes to throw. So Sachiro Yamazaki on in relief. So Ichiro, I should say. So Ichiro Yamazaki ready to go here as he's completed his tune-up tosses. And he is going to be slated to face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the Lions order. That means Antko Lin, Seiya Watanabe, and Taiga Kojima. Who tonight have combined to be 2 for 9. Lin 0 for 3 in this one. He has popped to third, flown to left, and struck out. As the first pitch on the way, a fastball that misses upstairs at 94, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. And again, the pitch on the way, there's a fastball swung on and lifted foul. It's going to drift its way into the seats, or is it? Yeah, it is, but it's going to bounce off the netting and come back to Tomoya Mori. So faking us out a little bit on the catch that he made. So 1 ball and 1 strike. It's like when it came down, it had hit it and deflected out. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Lin. Big left-handed hitter here of the Lions. First year in the NPB. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses inside. The count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. The right-hander holding to the set. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on it. Is taken on 1 hop by the shortstop. He fires over to first. Oh, a nice play there by Noguchi. That's going to get Lin on a ground out 6-3. He's gone for out number 1, and they'll bring up the third baseman in Seiya Watanabe. Well, for Watanabe tonight, he is officially 1 for 3. He's got a single and 3 trips and a couple of ground outs. As he comes to bat here to face the reliever Yamazaki. So again, he holds to the set position. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed. The count is quickly 0-1 to Watanabe. So no balls and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on it. It's going to be lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side. Count now goes to 0-2 on Watanabe. So no balls and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander leading in, getting his sign from the catcher. Now he steps off, and they're going to recycle through the signs again. As Tomoya Mori has to give him the one that he does think he can work with. So here comes the 0-2. And the pitch on the way, it is a fastball swung on and fouled right off into Mori. Oh, I shouldn't laugh like that. That hurts. Mori had set up outside. It was interesting. Mori had given him a couple pitches. It shook him off, and then he gave him a pitch that he wanted. He fouled it off, and we're looking at that one. It's right on the top of the left quad. That's what happens when you catch off of one knee. It leaves body parts to be exposed. As we'll do this pitch all over again. Here's the 0-2. Fastball missing down and away, and the count is 1-2 to Watanabe. Lions running out of outs here in the ball game, and they've got 5 left to play with, and they're down by 2. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that swung on and chopped foul right behind home plate. Count remains at 1-2. Earlier, our friend Samurai Prayer asked the question, do we like, or what do you think of the core of the Lions? This player here, Watanabe, I liked him last year, and he had a pretty productive year. I think he is going to be a long-term keeper for the Lions. As the 1-2 pitch is on the way, it is a breaking ball swung on, chopped softly back to the pitcher. He throws to first, does Yamazaki, and that's going to retire Watanabe on a ground out 1-3. He's in the books for out number 2, and that is going to bring up the catcher in Taiga Kojima. Just looking at the number of times tonight that the Buffalo pitchers have been involved in outs. That's only the second time tonight they've had to field their positions. Talk about this quite a bit. On the flip side for Takahashi, by my count, it's only one time for him as well. There's a ball hit to second on the ground, fielded neatly by the second baseman. That is Oda. He throws to first, and that's going to retire Kojima on a ground out 4-3. And that is going to put the Lions in the books here in order 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. Moving to the bottom of the 8th inning, it is a 3-1 game between the Buffaloes and the Lions. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit. All the action right after this musical timeout. Appreciate you for hanging in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back in just a bit. Your score, it's 3-1 for the Buffaloes as we move to the bottom of the 8th inning. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the left-hander Shota Hamaya entering the fray. He has worked in 5 ball games this year, and he's got an ERA of 4.50. So he is coming on in relief here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and he is slated to face the 2. Check that. It's going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the Buffalo order. That will be Watanabe, Nishikawa, and Seymour. Watanabe 2 for 3 today. He's got 2 singles, scored a pair of runs, and he has stolen a base. 5 for 8 to begin the year. As the bats from the left side here against the left-hander Hamaya. So Hamaya works himself into the windup and delivers. First pitch fastball called in for a called strike on the inside corner of the plate, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Buffalo's looking for some insurance runs here as the lefty kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on, grounded over to the left side. Genda feels he's going to have to hurry. It's not going to be in time. And Watanabe's going to have his 3rd hit of the evening, an infield single, and he is aboard to lead it off here. That is exactly what the Buffaloes would want. And that is going to bring Ryoma Nishikawa to the plate. I think in this situation with Watanabe at first, I know they had a lefty on the mound, so you got to be careful here. I'm not sure if you want to go necessarily straight on the first move, or do you think that you might want to bunt Nishikawa? If you bunt Nishikawa, you got 2 cracks to bring him home from second with Seymour and Oda to follow. See what they decide to do here. I bet they're going to throw over to first. No, they don't. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and Nishikawa's in the hole at 0-1. Interesting here that the Buffaloes aren't going to nickel and dime it. Well, Nishikawa drove in a run his last time up. He doubled to left field once the left fielder had fallen to the ground. Tough night at the office for Nakami. So he is 2 for 3 tonight as they throw over to first base, and getting back in time as the base runner, and the count remains at no balls and 1 strike. Again, the lefty working himself into the set position. Here comes the 0-1. As again, they throw to first, and again, diving back in time safely is the runner Watanabe. Amaya on in relief here of Takahashi. This is his first inning of work. He's got the runner at first with nobody gone. And no balls and 1 strike. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes even to 1-1 on Nishikawa. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the lefty ready to go. As they hold to the set position, here's the pitch. Fastball misses up and in, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. And again, the batter digs himself back in. Here is Nishikawa. So 2 balls and 1 strike. 3-1 Buffaloes have the lead. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. If you're just joining us here, it has been a rather kind of a quiet game is the best way I would put it. It's like watching paint dry. And all of a sudden, there's a run out of nowhere. Buffaloes tonight have scored a run in the first inning. They got a run on when it was a double play. They cashed in a run. The other 2 were on outfield follies. There's a breaking ball that just misses. The count goes to 3-1. It was a runner at first was Kai Nakagawa, and up had stepped Ryota Kita. And so Kita had hit a ball to right field that Alexander Canario dove for and missed, and ended up being a triple, bringing home the runner all the way from first base. Here's the 3-1. Fastball swung on, lifted into straightaway center field, moving back, continuing to move back, and making the catch on the warning track is the center fielder, Kuwahara. And retreating back to first base is Watanabe. That's going to put 1 in the books. That'll bring up the first baseman and Bob Seymour. And then the other gaff, or the other one, was the left fielder, Nakami, who had face planted, allowing Ryoma Nishikawa to hit a double to drive home Watanabe in the 6th inning. So 2 of the 3 runs that come from what I would call shoddy defensive play by the Lions. So Seymour stepping in. He is officially 0 for 3 tonight. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Seymour batting from the left side here against the left-handed throwing Hamaya. 1 gone in the 8th. Taps both sides of the plate. And he's waiting here on the offering as the lefty works himself into the set position. And now the pitch on the way. Instead, nope, throws over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Watanabe. So again, the lefty leaning in, getting his sign as he works himself to the belt. And now the pitch on the way. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. There goes the runner down to second. The throw is not going to be in time. That's going to be a stolen base. As Watanabe is in there safely, he's moved himself into scoring position. So no balls and 2 strikes. It is to Seymour as he swung through that pitch. But Watanabe now base hit away from adding another run to the tally of the Buffaloes. So Watanabe getting his lead over there at second base. That is his second stolen base of the night, third of the year. His wheels are at another level. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Seymour. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-2 on Seymour. And I'll tell you, if Watanabe keeps doing what he's doing, he's now 6 for 9 offensively on the year. He's going to continue to find his name in the lineup. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Seymour. 0 for 3 tonight. Looking to find his way on base. Buffalo's fans who are in attendance are engaged. Glad you guys could pop in here late because it is been a quiet night tonight. So again, Seymour taps on both sides of the plate. Ready to resume the action. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 1 gone here, bottom of the 8th inning. Runner at second, Watanabe. As the lefty Hamaya kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball missing way down and away, and the count is 2-2. We were talking about how Takahashi had slowed down. Well, so too has Hamaya. Hamaya has come into the ball game. He is working at a snail's pace. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is, as the lefty ready to go again. And now Seymour has asked for time, and so he wants to do his part to slow the game down as well. So we'll reset, and as Seymour digs himself back in, here comes the 2-2 pitch, as Hamaya getting his signs from Kojima. And again, he works himself into the set position. Here comes the pitch. 2-2 on the way. Fastball misses down and away, and the count goes now to 3-2. So 3-2 to Seymour. They do have the open base over at first, and it is Rio Oda waiting his turn on deck. So it is not like it is the end of the world if they lost the big lefty, but this would be a bonus if they could try to induce some sort of weak contact. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is, as the lefty continues to waggle the bat. And Hamaya ready to deliver. Pitch on the way. Fastball, take it for a called third strike, and Seymour knew it. He just turned right around 180 degrees and walked back to the dugout. He has gone for out number 2. He's going to leave it all up to the second baseman in Rio Oda. Well, for Oda, he is 0 for 3 in this one. He has lined to third, grounded to second, and struck out looking. So Hamaya trying to keep the game close here for the Lions, as they trail by a pair here in the 8th. As the lefty works himself to the set position, checks the runner at second, now delivers. First pitch fastball, take it for a called strike, and Oda's in the hole at 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike. Buffalo's trying to add to their lead here in inning number 8. Looking ahead to the 9th inning, it's going to be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters slated to come to bat for the Lions. Nakami, Canario, and Hirasawa. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in, almost hits the batter Oda in the back foot. The count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Just a note, we'll be back on the airwaves again the next couple of nights. So if you're up late night and you got nothing to do, come on in and hang out with us here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel for more NPB action. And here comes the 1-1 pitch. And it is a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Oda. So like a surgeon, he's working inside and out. He's making his cuts on each side. Is Hamaya, just that his knife is not quite as sharp as others would be. He's trying to do his part to keep the hitters off balance. 2 gone here in the inning. Runner at second is Watanabe. As the lefty Hamaya again working himself to the set. He checks the runner. Here comes the 2-1. On the way, fastball misses inside. It goes to 3-1 on Oda. It is Kai Nakagawa who is waiting his turn on deck. Again, the Buffaloes looking to try to pad their lead here. Currently with a 3-1 lead over the Lions. So Oda steps back in. Ready to face Hamaya again as the 3-1 forthcoming. And this would be one of the reasons why you would want the clocks in the NPB, because of the way that this game has gone. It's been a great pace to the game, and then all of a sudden we hit the 7th inning and the breaks just are coming to a screeching halt. There's a fastball that misses outside. It's going to be ball 4. Oda aboard with a walk. That's going to put runners at first and second. And it's slated to bring Kai Nakagawa to the plate. We'll see if the Buffaloes have another decision up their sleeve, but right now the Lions pitching coach on his way to the mound to have a couple of words with the reliever Hamaya. While that's going on, we'll take another peek around the NPB. Central League action, the Carp have a 5-2 lead over the Dragons. That's in the top of the 8th inning. Marines have a 8-7 lead over the Fighters. That is in the bottom of the 7th. As that scoring just continues to pour on there. And the Hawks and the Eagles tied at 2 in the top of the 8th. That is all your scores. The game between the Tigers and the Giants, well, that is canceled because of rain. It'll be made up at a later time this year. So here we go, back to the live action. Runner at second, Watanabe. Runner at first, Oda. 2 gone here in the 8th. Kai Nakagawa getting his first at bat of the evening. He's hitting .311 on the season. He's 14 for 45 with a couple homers and 10 RBIs. That's the lefty Hamaya ready to face him here. My question is, why wasn't he in the lineup earlier? So here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on. It is lined up on a hop up the middle. Fielded by Genda, moving to his left, and he's going to flip it to the second baseman covering. He's going to erase Oda on a fielder's choice. It goes in the book 6-4. He's gone for out number 3, and that's going to do it here for the Buffaloes. Well, they had no runs in the inning. They did have a hit. There was no errors and 2 runners left aboard. Your scores, we now move to the top of the 9th inning. It is the Buffaloes with a 3-1 lead. Stick around, everybody. I have a feeling we're going to see the closer in just a few. We'll be right back after this timeout.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
It is Ren Mukanaki in to relief, and we'll be back in just a couple of moments with all the action after this. Welcome back, everybody. We do have some wholesale changes defensively, but we'll have to get that caught up for you when we possibly can, as it is moving through quick. We do have coming to bat here. It'll be Yuta Nakami, Alexander Canario, and Taiga Hirasawa, as they are going to be facing Mukanoki here in inning number 9. So trying to come in to close the deal. And it's been a tough night for Nakami. He is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, all looking. The first pitch fastball misses upstairs for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. On top of that, he had butchered a ball in left field, and he had face planted to the ground, and the ball had gone break by him all the way to the wall. So he has had a tough night tonight. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count goes even to 1-1. Overmatched from the hitting standpoint, and certainly part of the defensive calamity in this one here tonight, as the right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a fastball missing it down and away, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Nakami. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Lions running out of outs here as they are in the top of the 9th inning, trailing by 2. As the right-hander delivers, it's a fastball swung on and lifted foul, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander getting his sign from his catcher, Tomoya Mori. As Mukanoki holds to the set, now he kicks and delivers. It's a split finger pitch that misses down. It runs the count full. I've seen Mukanoki pitch a couple of times before, and this is the similar type of act that we have seen. It reminds me of the right-handed version of Yuki Matsui when he used to pitch for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. It was never an easy inning to watch. Matsui trying to close out batters. Here's the 3-2. Fastball misses way upstairs, and that's not a good sign because Nakami is aboard with a leadoff walk, and that's going to bring the tying run Alexander Canario to the plate. So a game that was pretty much in cruise control, now you're 1 swing of the bat away from seeing it tied up. And it's been pretty much a snoozer of a game. You'd hate to wake of a bear in this situation, or in this case, a lion. So Canario officially 0 for 2 tonight. He has drawn a walk. His average is at 217. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Canario sure didn't like that pitch as he does a full 360 in the batter's box. As the right-hander holds again to the set position, here's the pitch. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Canario. So no balls and 2 strikes. And the right-hander working himself into the set position. And the 0-2 on the way, fastball down. Nice stop there by the catcher, Mori. Count goes to 1-2. Our Filipino friend says, tough night for the Lions tonight. Well, so far it is, and ironically, they still got a chance to salvage something out of this potentially. They're not out of the woods yet. Can't count them out. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball just misses outside. The count now goes to 2-2. You know, if you're a fan of the Buffaloes, or if you're a Buffalo player here, to see something like this slip away, that would be absolute tragedy. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. As the right-hander again works to the set. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on. Grounded up the middle. They're going to go for 2. Fielded neatly by Noguchi. He steps on the bag. It's going to be a 6-3 double play. That's a big break there for the Buffaloes, as that is going to retire Nakami on the front end and also retires Canario on the back end. That's going to leave it all up to Taiga Hirasawa. So now the Lions are down to their final out. As the right-hander Mukinoki looking to try to close it out here for the Buffaloes. And the first pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses way outside. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes. Hirasawa, the only run tonight for the Lions, a solo shot in the 7th. Takes the breaking ball down and in, and the count now goes to 2-0. And for Tiger Hirasawa, in the course of his career, that would have been his 11th home run of the NPB career for him. As the 2-0 pitch is on the way. Fastball swung through and missed, and the count now goes to 2-1. He's had a couple of nice swings tonight, even the pitches that he's missed. Swing looks pretty good. As the 2-1 is on the way, there's a fastball swung on and missed. The count now 2-2. Of course, I say that, and then that last pitch there, he kind of waved at. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as Mukinoki looking to try to finish out here. As he holds himself to the set position, here comes the 2-2. That's a split figure pitch and misses down and in. The count goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. So again, the right-hander now kicks and fires. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, lifted foul into the seats behind the third base dugout. The count remains at 3-2 to Hirasawa. So now their final strike here are the Lions, as it's 3-2. Kanoki looking to try to close it out. Lions trying to keep it alive, extend it for one more batter here. As the 3-2 pitch on the way. And it is a fastball swung on and another one fouled away straight back. And the count remains at 3-2. So this is the game that just doesn't want to die off. We were laughing earlier tonight. We said about there's a YouTube video. If you're looking to watch it, it's called 24 Hours of Watching Paint Dry. We got 2 hours and 40 minutes of it here tonight so far. There's only been a couple of times where there's been a few runs in the paint. Here's the 3-2. Fastball swung on, popped up into shallow. Oh, now it's on the infield right side, just in shallow center field. And making the catch is the second baseman, Oda, and that's going to do it here as Hirasawa's gone for the third out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. Your final score is the Buffaloes 3 and the Lions 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll wrap this one up for you in just a few when we return after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to wrap this baby up for you as our friend Chris has popped in. He says popped in for the last couple innings. We are going to do a couple of more here in the next couple of days, so hopefully you can join us for some late night action again as well. Well, the scoring got underway in the first inning with 1 out. It was a single off the bat of Haruto Watanabe, another single by Ryoma Nishikawa, and then there was a double play. It wasn't the conventional one. It was a ground ball to the first baseman who tagged first. And then the runner, Nishikawa, got hung up between first and second, and he stayed at it long enough to allow Watanabe to score the first run of the game, and that gave the Buffaloes a 1-0 lead. Buffaloes added their lead in the 5th inning with 1 out. It was a single off the bat of Masahiro Nishino. And then after the fly out to left field by Mori, up stepped Ryota Kita, and he had a sinking line drive to right field that Alexander Canario absolutely butchered the ball. He dove for the ball, got by him, went all the way to the wall, and ended up being ruled as a RBI triple for Kita. And then the score of the second of the game was Nishino. They added to their lead again, did the Buffaloes in the 6th with 1 out. It was a single off the bat of Watanabe. He stole second, and then the other left fielder did his part in the fall down routine as the ball was hit off the bat of Nishikawa, and it was the left fielder Nakami face planting, not even touching the ball. Ball rolled into the corner, and that was going to give the Buffaloes a 3-0 lead at that time. Well, the Lions added one back in the bottom of the 7th with 2 out. It was Teo Sato who smoked the home run, and that is the first run and only run for the Lions, and that was your final score in this one. The win, well, that goes to Anderson Espinoza. He goes to 3-0 on the year. Loss goes to Kota Takahashi as he is going to drop to 1-2. And it is Ren Mukinoki who picks up the save in this one. All right, everybody, have a great night. We appreciate you for listening in. We will catch you again a little bit later in the week. And that will be tomorrow night. If you get a chance, come on in. Hopefully you guys can make it in for that one. I'm not sure who's going to be the matchups yet. We'll have to look at the pitchers, and we'll make our decisions from there. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow.